Dr. T. All right, we are live. All right, y'all, how you doing today? It is Dr. Truesdale, also known as Dr. T, at you with a little bit of tea time this Friday afternoon, October 30th, 2020. All right, so I wanted to come on real quick. It's not going to be a long broadcast. As a way to both talk about a class that I'm teaching tonight with Priestess Peach Blossom, who works with Black Spectrum Network, but also to kind of delve into why protection now, why we're talking about protection at this time, and really get into this idea of that I believe in is the best protection of yourself and your family is to really know yourself. So for me, I'm going to talk about protection a little bit differently. So let's see if people are going to come on. And if people don't come on, that's okay. I'm still getting used to doing this whole live thing. I haven't been on that much. It's been a interesting year as it's been for everybody else, right? Between job changes, house changes, career changes, hell, even body changes. I've lost a bunch of weight since last year as I've literally shed a bunch of things that didn't serve me anymore. I think I'm just still getting used to, all the changes and we're still not left 2020. All right. So let's talk about protection a little bit. Why protect? Now, tonight, if you are available, I really recommend you go to www.blackwomenetwork.com/Dr. T, or go to Beach Blossom's page or the classes page on there and look at our protection class we're going to have tonight. And what tonight we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about protecting and protecting your home, both inside and outside, and protecting yourself. So 3 ways of protection. And we're going to really break down what to do and how to do it. It's like a protection 101 course. And we're protecting right now because right now we are in a lot of chaos, right? The world is chaotic. The world is literally on fire in certain places, underwater in other places, right? And around all of this, we've got this thing called Rona, right? Or Android 19, since I guess you can't say the real name on YouTube. Now, what I think a lot of us have found during this year of 2020, especially since March hit when the first wave of shutdowns in the US happened, is that we have had to sit with ourselves a hell of a lot more than we're used to. Right. And not just sit with ourselves, but like sit with ourselves, sit with family members, right? Sit with anybody who we had to quarantine with, keep our circles small. And in doing that, a lot of us have had to really pull back and think about who we are and what we are in this world if you've taken this time to do so. And what I found a lot of times in this year of 2020 is that, you see a lot of people online and on YouTube talk about 2020 being a year of clear vision, right? 2020. Like, obviously, I ain't got 2020 vision, so I got these glasses on. I'm blind as a bat without them on. But even when you have the glasses on, right, even when you think you're seeing, I think a lot of people in this time have realized that the lens that they were using to see the world was not one that actually was a true reality. Because humans have a great ability to lie to ourselves, right? We have a great ability to sit here and tell ourselves truths that we want to hear, right? So instead of just realizing that, oh, hey, so let's take love for example, right? That's always a favorite of mine that I really don't love to talk about. But love is always this biggest thing people are asking about. Does so and so love me? Does so and so not love me? Does someone so like me? Should I do this, that, and the other? Now, a lot of times when you're asking these questions, you already actually know the answer, but you're afraid to look at it in its face, right? So then you tell yourself a story and you create the story in the back in your subconscious to your conscious mind. And the next thing you know, you've created a whole storyline that may or may not be true, but to you it is. So even if the person you're with, no, they ain't shit, they ain't gonna never be shit, they never were shit. But you have attached yourself to the story you've told about that story, about that relationship, right? You attach yourself to that story. That now becomes a reality. But is it really a reality? No, it's actually not. You're sitting in what we call this kind of Neptunian energy, this Uranus energy of delusion, right? It's an illusion, it's a falsehood. It's not actually there, right? It's not actually what's going on, but you have made yourself that story. And so you live your life in that story loop. 2020 and Android 19 blew all that shit out the water, right? So now we're having to sit down and face ourselves and face the illusions that we told ourselves as a way to get to the reality that we're in. And once you're in this reality that we're in, because listen, y'all, it's October hitting November. We're only seeing the beginning of this. Once winter hits, we're going to really see the impact and effects of what it means to have to go in, literally in our homes, in ourselves, right, into spirit, as a way to figure out what comes next. Because the life we were living, the way we were moving in the world, the way we understood the world was not sustainable. So now, literally, spirits put us all on hold and said, what do you actually want your life to be, individually and collectively? Right. So this is why linking this to protection is so important, because as we hit wintertime, right, the winter, the weather is changing, right? Harvest is here. As the seasons change, so do we. Our rhythm of life changes. Our clothes change, right? I got my flannel on because I'm a Midwest country girl and I love me some flannel when it's cold, and it got cold outside real quick, right? So we literally change as the seasons change. And so in the season of harvest and going into hibernation, right? We have Halloween tomorrow, then the Day of the Dead, and then the All Souls Day. So we're seeing this thinning of the worlds too, as we have this full moon in Taurus tomorrow as well on Halloween. We're seeing these changes of cycles of time, right, and of the elements. So do we change. So as we're starting to go internal and inside our homes, inside ourselves, it is now more important than ever to really double down on your spiritual practices and on your protection, right? So this is why me and Peach Blossom, Priestess Peach Blossom, excuse me, don't y'all call her Peach, call her Priestess. This is why both of us decided to come together, her being Priestess of Hoodoo and me being an initiate of Lukumi Ocha, right, with who has a lot of hoodoo influences. We started to come together and really want to talk with people about how do you now, in this time of hibernation, of harvest, right, of going in, both again in home and in self, how do we really start to double down and really be more intentional about our protection? So, giving you a little bit of a freebie here for those who are still on the fence of whether they want to join or not. The first line of protection, period, point blank, is always cleaning, right? And we're going to start with that tonight, talking about cleaning practices, cleaning rituals themselves. What do you use to clean with? And it really means cleaning, y'all. This ain't no metaphorical thing. It's like getting in your hands and knees and cleaning your goddamn house, right? Because when you allow your house and your surroundings to accumulate gunk and muck and dust and all these other things, that stuff sticks and the energy can't move. Because what we're really talking about is how do we move energy so that we allow ourselves to have the best space that we can possibly be in, so that our space and our mind is clear, so we can actually hear ourselves, hear our higher selves, what we call our ori, right? Be able to hear our spirits, our ancestors, right? Hear our spirit guides. And if you can't hear your ori, yourself, or your ancestors, then you really do become lost. And you sit in that, what I call Neptunian energy, that illusional state, right? And you believe that to be true, because you actually don't know what's going on or who you are or what you want, because you've now allowed yourself to sit in this state of delusion. All right. So, when you're thinking about protection, again, the first thing is cleansing. Now, after you clean a space, then you've got to invite the energy you want back into that space. And tonight we'll talk about different ways you actually invite that good energy in, right? Energy, and it's, your good spirits in, but also just good energy, right? How do you ask the elements to come in a way that is positive, to help move things, help actually open roads, right? To help be able to have you have comfort and have stability in this time, again, of chaos. Because what 2020 is showing us is that there will always be moments of chaos. It is how you engage in that chaos and how you have your own footing, how you understand who you are and how you understand where you come from, that allows you to let that chaos seep into you. Other people should become your own, right? So this is the second thing. So first you cleanse, and then you got to invite the best spirits back in. But then the third thing, and we always talk about this, no matter who you worked with, the Black System Network. So I'm not necessarily full time. I teach classes for BSN when I can. I used to do a couple of readings, but my spirits didn't care for that either. When you're working with, say, Hugon, Priestess Oshun Funke, or Priestess Peach Blossom, you will hear all of them say, and you will hear me say, the foundational piece of all of this. And for me, for protection, is prayer meditation. So after you've cleansed your space and you invited your good folks and your good energies back in, then you got to double down on that spiritual regimen of the everyday, the prayer meditation mechanism. We're going to talk more about that tonight as well, right? Because prayer meditation itself can take many different forms. A lot of times we think meditation is like sitting in a lotus position, right? And going, and then having spirit kind of fall down on you. I can't do that. Like literally, I can't do that. I try to sit still. My knees hurt, my back hurts. It's not necessarily something that allows me to calm my mind down because the more I have to physically sit still, the more my mind races. Now, because I'm a former athlete and still an athlete, I found that when I'm outside, when I'm walking, when I used to run, that actually allowed me to calm my mind down because I had to focus on my breath. And it is the focusing on the breath and being able to control the breath that allows the mind to calm down, that then allows you to center yourself and be able to tap into spirit and actually hear. So that's really the third line of protection. So cleansing a space, inviting the good stuff back in, and then doubling down on your spiritual regimen really become the foundations of protection. Now, if you want to get more into that, again, go to www.blackspectrumnetwork.com and go into our classes and take the class tonight with me and Pieces Preach Blossom. And if you can't actually be live, we record every class on BSN is recorded. And so even if you purchase the class and can't attend live, you will get the recording afterwards. All right. So that's all I really wanted to say today. I don't think I have anybody on who is chatting for me. And if you are, I'm sorry, I just can't see it right now. I'm still getting used to this, doing this whole live thing. But I did want to come on and have a little bit of talk about when we talk about 2020 and we talk about moving out of states of a delusion and illusion and into the reality that we are living in so that we can face it and move on and grow. A big part of that is learning what protection is in this time and period. Again, we are going into harvest. We are going internally. We are going to have winter is coming, especially if you don't live in those sunny parts of the US. And even if you do, you're still going to have winter coming your way, right? So when you're thinking about this time period, right? We are human beings. We are still human. We still engage with and work with the cycles of the moon, right? We work with the cycles of the elements, cycles of the seasons. As the world as the earth calms down and the earth goes in and the earth hibernates, so do we. And this hibernation is a time. It is a gift, y'all. It is a gift. Even if you are struggling, this is a gift spirit is giving us to come in not only to ourselves, but come into our homes, be able to have the right conversations with folks. And right now, when we have holiday season coming up, protection is key, right? Protection is key. We got an election coming up on Tuesday. And let's be real, we're not going to know those results for a while. So we might as well, we're going to be hunkering down on that. The anxiety is high. We have unemployment being high, right? We've got all kinds of mixed messages. We still got state brutality against Black folks, right? We have these things that are constantly here. That does not mean you have to invite that spirit of chaos into yourself and into your space, right? Because these are all spirits, these are all energies. So you got to think about this as we come in, as we hibernate, as we come into ourselves. Who are you inviting and what are you inviting in? Are you inviting the spirit of chaos? Are you inviting the spirit of peace? And if you want that spirit of peace, chaos will still follow to ensure you want that peace, right? And the way to get that peace and ensure that peace is sustainable is to really double down the protection. Again, cleansing, inviting the good stuff back in, and then getting right with your spirit by getting right with your spiritual regimen, especially in this time of hibernation. All right. All right, y'all. So that's all I really had today. Again, I wanted to do a short video, short little tea time with Dr. T on this Friday, on the 30th of October. We got Halloween tomorrow. We got feed your ancestors, y'all. Feed your dead, right? Even if you don't have something, this is a time when the spirits are alive and they want to come in, they want to talk. So invite your good folks in, give them some water, cool, fresh water, give them some flowers, give them some food, right? Give them some liquor, give them a little bit of coffee if you want, right? But go ahead and do that because when you take care of your spirits, they take care of you. When you feed your spirits, they feed you back, right? When you love, they give it back. Because who else has your back? Yourself, your higher self, your Ori, and your ancestors. So you don't even have to go worrying about no deities. You ain't got to worry about all this stuff you see folks online. You ain't got to worry about hexing the motherfucker that you don't even like. Because once you get right with yourself, once you get right with your head, your Ori, and once you get right with your ancestors, that is the protection you need. And so when someone's coming at you, you ain't got to worry about no jar, no black candle, or none of that stuff. And I'm not knocking that, but I'm saying that does not have to be the first resort. Because when you've protected, when you have fed your spirits, when you have cleaned your space, and when you have laid the foundation, right? When you have laid that foundation and it is clear, and it is clear because you are clear, because your space is clear. Do you see what I'm talking about, y'all? It's all round robin, it all comes back together. Then when someone comes for you, right? You don't have to worry about having to do a quick reaction because you know your spirit's got it. And I'm telling you something right now, y'all, and I've been through this, and I'll talk about it more tonight for those who want to sign up into the class. I have firsthand experience of this, right? When I've doubled down and supported my spirits and fed them and made sure they was clean and made sure that I was myself was clean, right? And I had my mind right. Those who did me wrong last year are not reaping what they sow. And they're reaping what they sow in ways I could never imagine, but it is beautiful to watch because spirit had my back. And that is what protection really is. Protection means that when the chips are down and when you know you need something, they are there because you have already put the work in ahead of time, and they are fed, they have energy, they have the materials they need on the altar to come and protect you. All right, y'all. Okay, so that's all I got for this little tea time with Dr. T. If you did like this, let me know in the comments, because then I'll come back more. I'm trying to figure out my mediums that I do this stuff with, and I'm also a writer. So everything I've said, I've actually written out in various different posts on Medium. So please follow me at Dr. Truesdell. That is Dr.Truesdell on Medium, where you can find my articles for free, and check out and look out for hopefully my book in the next 1 to 2 years. All right. So y'all have a beautiful day. Please clean your space, clean your altars. And if you can, sign up for the class tonight. If you have problems signing up, go ahead and use the number that is on the website for Black Student Network for me and text me, and I can make sure that you can get into the class. And any other questions, just drop them in the chat. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good day and much love. Bye.